not once. Usually the sir will bring her out after lunch and she would stay until the weather got too cold. Not anymore. There's something wrong in that house.
Good evening, Boromus.
Evening, sir. You have been to town this afternoon?
No,
I only thought so because you did not have your coffee outside this afternoon.
no, I was not in town. I was lying down inside. A headache. But what is up with all this digging? You would have the whole garden turned over at this rate.
It has to be done, sir. Any night now, there might be a big frost. It's October now. I have no faith in this warm weather. Do you remember the autumn in '93? We sat outside during the evening, and by 3 in the morning, there was a hard frost. It was the same in '87 and '88. So no, this warm weather cannot fool me.
Quite right, Boromus. Quite right.
Oh, I spoke to Franz the other day. You know, Baron Wesselneck's gardener? Our neighbor. He told me what to set up next. Stiff fellow. But I must admit, he does do better business than I do.
Yes. Yes, you must.
Must what, sir?
Why? Do what he said. I'm perfectly willing.
But, sir, I have not said anything yet. Forgive me for asking, sir. Is the frog counselor getting worse again? I really thought so because she has not been out in the garden for almost 3 weeks now.
Let me. She is dead. The Frau Concealer is dead.
Oh, Lord.
Yes. She will never come to us again.
In the quiet of the garden, Hausdorff's grief begins to surface. The gardener Boromus, simple and loyal, throws out what words alone cannot hold. The mood shifts, dust settling in. The empty chair is still there. Two men who would not normally find themselves speak of such things, doing exactly that, keeping each other company in the only way they know how.
To think of it, dying like that. I never knew the frog counselor was that ill. And she was still such a young lady, in a matter of speaking.
Young. Well, she's 7 years younger than I am, and I'm nearly 60 myself.
To be sure.
But people like her live far longer. That is certain too.
I have seen the frog counselor nearly every day for 15, 20 years. And yet,
Yes, we were all younger 20 years ago. But even at the very last, she still does not look like an old woman. This past summer, she has grown thinner and paler. One evening, I came out the garden late, and she was sitting just there. And for a moment, I thought it was her younger sister. I'm not joking.
I understand that, sir. I was married once, and I had to bury my own wife. No, that's not what I meant. I'm
Very
sorry.
good, Boromas. Thank you.
How about the young master? Henrik?
What?
Henrik. It must be hard for him, as he is always by her side, always bringing her out during the afternoons, and even coming back for her during the evenings.
Yes, he must be pitied.
He has not come out. He must be ill himself.
No. Right after the funeral, he left. He needed some time to recover before he could work again.
Yes. If a man has a calling.
A calling! The poet's calling! Do you know what that means, Boromas?
Well,
None of us ordinary men know nothing about this. I once worked in an office for 30 years and sat on a desk. And when I left, another person took over it. It does not matter who's the one sitting at that desk. But when a poet retires, that place stays empty. A man like them has to consider who he owes to the world. You have noticed the halo around Henrich's head, did you? No, of course not. Neither did I. But the Frau Counselor could see it. She always could. Yes, here he comes.
As memories of the Frau Concealer fills the fading afternoon, a figure in black appears at the garden gate. Her son, Heinrich, has returned.
oh Henrik, I'm so deeply sorry. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you. It has been a huge loss for us. Oh, Henrik, she spoke of you often with such pride. She was still crying. If you need anything during your stays, anything, you just have to let us know. We're very grateful for this. We are all thinking about you, and it is good to have you home.
Well, back again.
Yes, sooner than I expected. There's no other place like home after all.
You left the same night?
Yes, I went straight from the cemetery, back to bed, and left. I could not stay another night in that room.
I understand. Where did you go?
Well, southward first. I found it very beneficial. The city of consolation, I used to say. Throughout the years, I went through a painful experience, and I walked through the garden, and I found myself released. I woke up the next morning and able to walk again.
And this time?
Nothing, not even a ray of light. I left and I went to Munich. And I can breathe again. You do not mind telling me all this? I felt a real need for someone to hear me. Go on. Thank you. You see, for the past few years, I felt that you really haven't treated me like when I was a child, playing in the garden.
My dear Heinrich, that was a long time ago. You went your own way, and it was natural enough. I have not reproached you.
I know. I only want you to. Through this wretched journey, I felt really drawn to them more than anyone in this world. I really am grateful for you. For my mother's sake, you treated her so well. You brought the beauty into her life for the past few years.
Her Henrik speaks of his travels, his consolation, and slowly, painfully reveals how his mother's suffering can affect his will to create. Forgive me, gentlemen. The air is growing cooler. May I offer you a coat to wear?
Yes. In Munich, the effect of the paintings lasted longer than the cold sinners, even in the streets. The evenings, the lonely evenings, to think and to work, it was impossible. How long will it last?
It must be terrible if you are so accustomed to working.
Accustomed? I've not been able to work for 2 or 3 years. You know that. To see someone you love suffer like that, to see your own mother fighting with that, longing for it. I can see the longing in her eyes by her bed at night when I read to her.
A child should never have to go through this. She would sit outside when the sun was softer, and she would still ask if the weather got too cold, but still refused to go inside. She loved this garden more than anything. I need to look at the house.
Yes, it is too large for one person.
I could never write another line in it. The moans that comes from the room next to mine, night after night. They cut to everything. My wish to create, even the desire to live. Did you know what Dr. Hilbert told me Sunday before she died?
What?
That she might have lived 2 or 3 years longer.
2 or 3 years?
Yes. And after that, she never went out again. Even to the garden she loved dearly.
Perhaps I should have come more often.
Oh, Christopher, I only speak. Forgive me. I only speak of myself. You have lost so much more.
Very much, indeed.
I always know what she thought to you, even as a boy. I remember the day she told me Papa was gone. I thought he had died, and I wept for him. But then one day, I saw him in the streets. with another woman. I hid because I was so scared that he might see me. I was a child. I was ashamed for him. By then, I understand. My mother was free. My mother was free as if she was a widow.
A child should never have to understand such things so early.
I think we should speak in simple terms now. Especially now. I always wanted to take your hand as a father's because I know how much she loved you.
Love me. Well, we were friends, Heinrich. Old friends. You are young. You have the whole world before you. You cannot truly understand that word yet.
The garden remembers, even when we try to forget.
If only I could bring her back. My God, why would I not give to have her sitting here with us just for one evening?
What would you give? How much?
I think my whole future, everything I might still achieve.
Don't be a fool, Heinrich. You don't mean that.
If it is truly possible.
That is a lie. I know you. I know your kind.
Your kind? Meaning whom?
There was a man I once knew at the office. A musician, Franz Thomas. His only child died of diphtheria. A bright, beautiful boy of 7. I went to offer my sympathy. When I arrived, the man was sitting in front of a piano, playing. The dead child was laid out in the same room. When I came in, the man did not stop playing. He just nodded at me and said softly, "Listen, Herr Hausdorfer, that is for my poor little son. The melody pleases me very much. It gave me the shivers."
I understand how many good men feel horror to such things. But do you not think those men are to be envied? To let their power absorb something into their art. To mold their sorrow into something lasting, instead of letting it all dissolve into useless tears.
And does molding sorrow into imperishable form bring back the dead?
No, no more than tears would. But in the end, you tend your garden again. I long for the day that I could create something once more. But we must resign ourselves.
To the inevitable, yes.
It was inevitable.
No!
Something has shifted. The conversation that began in a shared loss is becoming something else. A quiet reckoning. Hausdorfer listens, watches, and says less than he knows.
What do you mean? What do you mean it was inevitable? The doctor himself told you 6 months ago.
Not so soon. Not like this.
Oh, Henrik, the frog counselor looked content that evening. And her Hausdorfer, there was no lack of care. Surely you cannot suggest.
Sudden death. Yes, the doctor mentioned that. But natural death, that is another question entirely.
What do you mean?
Could someone not empty a bottle of poison and be found dead in bed the next morning? If the family expected something already.
You speak as if you knew. Did she say something to you?
I'm not mistaken. Let that satisfy you.
Since you have said this much.
I'm sure of it. Do not ask further.
The letter. The letter on her writing table. Yes. Yes. And yet, why am I so shocked? How many nights, in those terrible nights, did I ask myself, what must we endure? When it all lies within our own power to end it.
Heinrich!
Sir. If the things that she said about you was right, she was right, entirely right.
Because you know nothing. You understand nothing. She would have gone on enduring as long as God gave her life. She would have lived for me, for herself, for these few hours in this garden. But she's dead. And she died for you, Heinrich. For you. For your sake.
For me? For my sake? What do you mean?
Calm down, Gentleman. The frog counselor would hate to see this. Both of you just couldn't hold your horses.
You told me yourself, your suffering, your inability to work, your grief for your own lost art. She saw it all, every night. A mother sees everything. And so, she chose.
No. No. It's impossible.
Boromus, hand me the letter on the table.
Listen.
Read it! She wrote it that very last night, with a clear mind. Read it! She saw you suffer, and so she died.
Mother! Mother!
The letter has been read. The truth is known. Now two grieving men must face what it means and who is truly to blame.
Go now. My presence must be painful to you. The letter was written with a clear mind. I do not doubt that for a moment, but I entreat you. She begged you not to show me this, to let me believe that she died a natural death. This letter intended for us alone.
I intended it for you. You get over it.
By showing me this, you have destroyed every sacrifice that she made. She made me believe through the world that to feel that I had murdered her. Perhaps one day you will see that you have done me and her both wrong. And anything that I may have done.
A month ago, she was alive. She killed herself for you. And now, you are speaking of your duty, your work, your future. In a few days, you will have made peace with it. You will tell yourself it was her own choice. Am I not right? Are you not just, after all, like the rest of them, full of arrogance, large and small? What does all your writing amount to? Even if you were the greatest genius who had ever lived, compared to one single hour in this garden, one living hour where she sat in that chair and spoke to us, or when we were silent together and she was simply just there, alive. Alive.
Mustafa has said everything. Heinrich has heard everything. What remains now is cannot be argued and cannot be taken back.
living hours. Those living hours of yours. They live as long as the last person who remembers them. And so, it will be the least of destinies to be someone who gives those hours immortalities. Farewell, Hausdorfer. Your grief gives you the right to misunderstand me. And when you garden bloom again, we will meet here. For you, too, will live on.
And so, the living hours endure. In memory, in quiet gesture, and in the hearts of those who will remember. Each hour spent together, each tender word lives on beyond sorrow, grief, and absence. Heinrich departs, Hausdorfer remains, alone, yet not empty. And in that garden, the hours live on.
This performance made me realize how much emotion and detail goes into a performance. While acting, it was challenging to balance my lines with the emotions, especially in the intense scenes. I learned that it's not just about memorizing the script, but really understanding the characters so it feels real. I also became more aware of my body movement and positioning, and I think I improved in my voice projection and staying in character. Teamwork also played a big role here. When everyone was in sync, the performance felt much smoother. Overall, this experience showed me that acting is about fully committing to the moment, not just staying in lines.
Well, for me, presenting living hours was a valuable experience that taught me how much goes into staging, even a short play like this. Playing Borromus, I learned that preparation goes beyond memorizing lines, and the nerves on stage can make even familiar words feel distant. And this shows me that how important consistent practice it is. I also become more aware of basic stage techniques such as voice projection and stage positioning, like always staying open to the audience and never turning my back. These are skills I still need to keep developing, but this experience gave me a clearer picture of what it truly makes to bring a play to life.
And for me, playing as a Heinrich in the living hours made me realize that acting is not just about speaking, but also about showing feelings through small actions. As Heinrich, I had to stay calm on the outside, but still show that he has a lot of emotions inside. This was quite challenging, but it helped me learn how to act more naturally. I also learned to understand the characters better, especially how he thinks and feels. Heinrich doesn't just always say everything, so I had to use my body language and expressions to show his emotions. Overall, this experience made me more confident and helped me improve my acting skills. It taught me that acting is about truly understanding the character, not just memorizing the lines. So, that's all from us. Thank you.
1, 2, 3.